Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Yes, Paul. Hopefully we won't have to talk to you too many more times. You into poppies?
What do you know about poppy pods?
Poppy pod?
Ever come across anyone selling them, using them?
No.
Alrighty. That's the one thing I like about you, Paul. Your bluntness. It's also something I hate about you, so I guess that's a contradiction for me. What do you know about your son writing 500-pound checks to Kate?
Now, why do you think Ryan might want to give Kate a cheque for £500?
I've really no idea. Where did you find it?
Just outside.
You better ask him.
You think Ryan was interested romantically in Kate?
I know he has a weakness for blondes, but I didn't think it had gone so far as his offering them cash.
I didn't think Kate was a blonde. I thought she was a brunette. That doesn't look like blonde hair to me. That's definitely brunette. I guess not that it really matters, but tell me about prime candidates.
What are prime candidates?
The best of the bunch. The peaches.
And so what does it mean to be a prime candidate?
Success. We have a special relationship with many major international companies. We provide them with our best students. And they get an instant job.
And what do you get out of it?
Well, it's a little kickback. It's just business, Inspector.
So you guys are nothing but a low-rent skull and bones club, right? That's what I'm getting here? Shame I can't tell you that your daughter-in-law just informed me that most of your prime candidates can't actually hack the jobs you get for them. But anyway, goodbye. Alright, James, I don't think you're going to be able to actually add anything to this discussion, but
Ask about a few more things, please.
again, we will cover all our bases. And yeah, he is clueless.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
So, back to Ryan, I guess, since we have the prime candidate thing to ask him.
Couple more questions, if that's okay?
Give me your take on prime candidates.
Now, tell me what a prime candidate is.
You're learning a lot, aren't you, Inspector? Prime candidates are simply the best students, the ones with the most potential.
And what benefits do they get from that?
Well, they get the top job.
Which is?
Well, we have a deal with various multinationals. We train students to be exceptional, truly exceptional. And they get a wonderful top job. It seems a very simple deal.
And how do you decide who the prime candidate is? Do you test students?
No.
Did you ever, say, ask Simon to test Kate, for instance?
Oh, you've actually been speaking to Simon, haven't you? I really wouldn't trust anything that Simon Thompson says. You know, he spent the best part of 2 months trying to undermine Kate. No. Now, Simon Thompson, it really isn't my place to speculate, but if you're looking for motives, Inspector, he certainly had a few motives, more than I.
A motive to kill her, do you mean?
Now, that's very interesting, Inspector. Well, that's up to you to decide.
Okay. Very strange the way he says. He says says. It's the second or third time he's done that. Beside the point, though. Sorry, it just distracted me. He is throwing blame at Simon, so that must have been at least some of what his wife wanted him to tell us about Simon. But he said students aren't tested. Didn't we see in one of this that he said that they test students? Or maybe that was just on the audio that was playing in the mirror room. Or was it under the hypnosis? Yep, gave Kate the money to test her. You really should be more careful in the way you word things, Ryan.
Aha. Well, which one is it, Ryan? Do you test students or not?
Well, some of them, yes.
Including Kate?
Yes.
Why was she being tested?
She was being tested because we wanted to see if she was good enough to become prime candidate, okay?
So Kate was in the running to be prime candidate?
Yes!
And did you ask Simon to test her?
Yes, I did. But I didn't ask him to do anything stupid. He knew it was against course rules.
How far did you ask him to push her?
I didn't ask him to push her. I asked him to test her. There's a huge difference!
Wow, defensive much?
If Simon decided to give her too much caffeine or morphine or whatever, that's his responsibility. So if he did anything wrong, it was his own responsibility. He did it with his own mind and his own hand. We had nothing to do with it.
Midnight, and still no suspect, unless you count everyone I've interviewed. It's no surprise that Ryan wants to avoid any suggestion of being responsible for Kate's death, but I wonder if the man protests just a little too much.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. That was just off the fucking charts. There's gotta be guilt there somewhere, right? The way he acted? Oh, so this is the last hour? I was under the impression that once it hit midnight, the game would be over. But apparently we get one more session here. So, we've got to re-explore. Alright, unable to uncover any new evidence triggered in any new locations, so let's begin with the questioning. We have some new
A few more
stuff
questions, if you don't mind.
that we haven't asked everyone about yet. Alright. See, we asked him about the poppy pods. He wouldn't know about that. Wouldn't know about that. Alright, James, it appears you are useless.
Thank you. Probably be back later. A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Yes. No, we haven't asked you about the mirror room, have we?
Can you tell me about the room with the mirrors at Atlas? The one with the combination lock?
How did you get in there?
I was given the code for the combination.
By Ryan?
Well, nobody else is allowed to know the code, are they?
And not in theory.
So how's the room used on the course, then?
It's a meditation room where the students can reflect on themselves, literally.
And what about the CD?
Well, that helps too. It's part of the program.
So you send the students into the room, they put the CD on, they stare into the mirrors. And how long does this last for?
Until the CD finishes or they fall asleep. What else would you like to know?
As adversarial as always, Paul. What about... Yeah, we did ask you about that. Guess I forgot to ask you about the mirror room? Okay. We asked about that. Tell me about Kate's prime candidate status.
Was Kate a prime candidate?
Well, as Ryan has probably already told you, yes, she was.
Did you ask Simon to test her?
Yes, it's company policy. Leaders don't get involved.
And it covers your back, of course.
Well, nobody knows the students better than they do, Inspector. It's much better to let them just work it out among themselves.
It isn't very professional to force students to test each other to the point where one of them gets killed, Paul.
We don't force students to do anything that they don't want to do, Inspector.
So you don't force them into being tested?
No, we don't encourage anybody to hurt or offend anybody else here.
You don't use threshold testing, for instance?
No, If Simon Thompson went too far with Kate, that's his responsibility, not ours. He's the one you should be speaking to, if truth be told. I don't trust him myself.
That's a lie. They do use threshold testing. We saw them doing it in the woods, and the CD also said that they did. Can we contradict that, though? I mean, assuming he knows what's on the CD, which he should, then this is the contradiction, because the CD says threshold testing, says extreme testing too.
Aha. You say you don't endorse threshold testing, that's the phrase, isn't it?
Yes.
Except you do, Paul, because you told me that the students use that CD in the mirror room. I've listened to that CD, and it very clearly mentions threshold testing. You keep batting this away, Paul. We don't really use hypnosis. The students aren't really tested, but I am this close to launching a full-scale investigation.
Look, we get a kickback from these students, and they have to be exceptional. Of course we have to test them. That doesn't mean we do anything illegal. What do you think we do? Bump off the ones we don't like?
Well, that depends on how far you push them, doesn't it?
Well, we certainly don't kill them. Nobody here wanted Kate dead.
I'm sure they didn't. But what do you expect, Paul, when you put students under that much pressure?
She was a very, very valuable student. She was worth a lot to the business.
Really? And how much would that be?
But if you really want to know, 50 grand.
She was worth 50 grand.
Yes.
What, you were selling her?
Of course we were selling her. You don't get this, do you? We make perfect employees. Month after month. That's all we do.
What do you mean, perfect employees?
What big business needs, Inspector, more than anything else, is none of this altruistic, goody-goody crap. What we look for is people with ambition, no ethics, push, greed is good, all right? We don't deal with all this comfort stuff. The survival of the fittest. That's all there is. There's no higher purpose, no big plan. There's nothing at the end of the rainbow, except what you have and you can enjoy in the here and now.
And what do you enjoy now, Paul?
You're gonna have to excuse me, Inspector. I'm a very busy man. I've got work to do.
I'll see myself out.
Oh,
Lovely man, your father.
Shut the gate on your way out.
are we going to hear a conversation?
He's doing his level best to shut this place down. Get rid of him.
He's a policeman. We can't just...
You saw this, Ryan. You man up and you sort it. Tonight.
I think Jenks may be in danger of bodily harm. Kyle. Is that the twerp that we caught carving the symbol in the tree and encouraging his friend to drive a skewer through his hand? I think it is.
That doesn't sound good. Two totally morally bankrupt men are plotting to get rid of me. It's midnight. I don't have any backup and I don't even have a mobile phone. This is potentially quite bad. And what's Kyle got to do with it? I think I might make my way over to Atlas while Ryan isn't there. Maybe lock myself in.
Really? That's what we're supposed to do now? Do we just stop questioning everybody? Oh, give me a second here. A lot of information just got spilled at us, and I need to think about this for a second. Okay, so Paul just told us what I had pretty much suspected the whole time, that they were grooming students, making money from both the students who paid them to get on the course and from the companies that they were selling the students to as employees. He claims perfect employees, but according to Rebecca, his daughter-in-law, almost none of the ones they sold could actually hack it. Which makes me wonder how much longer that this would be able to go on, even if the deaths weren't a factor here. And he claims also that they weren't doing anything illegal, except there is morphine in the mirror room for the students' use, and they're definitely not prescribed that by a doctor, so that's illegal. They are, from what it sounded like, plotting to kill Jenks, and he thought so as well. So I think either Ryan or Paul or both of them as a team have just become our prime suspects here. I'm just going to go about this as we normally would and just keep questioning everyone in order. I don't know what else to do. I mean, I know it said to go lock ourselves in Atlas, but if we die, I mean, I'm sorry. This is just my gut instinct as to what we should be doing. I guess we maybe should be calling the chief, actually. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe we can get some backup on the way. Or not, because nobody's answering the phone. Alright then, well, let's just proceed as I said previous to that. Rebecca, you're next.
A couple more questions, if that's okay.
See, did we miss asking her about the mirror room? Or did we get this? Did we not get the Atlas mirror room after the poppy seeds? Why is it above the poppy pods? I may just be misremembering. Whatever. Do you know about the mirror room?
Do you know anything about a locked room at Atlas with mirrors in it?
Not off the top of my head, no. I think that's a question for Ryan.
Alrighty. We can't ask her about that. She's the one who told us that most students aren't up to the job. Okay. And failed ones get sacked. Did you know Kate was one of these prime candidates?
Did you know Kate Vine was a prime candidate?
No.
Alright. Not a lot of help there.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
Simon and Emma are next.
A few more questions, please. Thank you.
Okay, the only thing we haven't asked Emma about is Kate's prime status.
Do you know whether Kate was in the running to be prime candidate or not?
I don't, but I do think she would have been chosen just because she was, Kate.
You didn't discuss it with Kate?
No. No, she never talked about Atlas.
All right. Thank you.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
I mean, we haven't asked him this yet. I guess we didn't have it confirmed. He knows that Kate was a prime candidate. He's the one who was told to test her.
How do you think you'd have reacted if you'd found out that Kate had been chosen to be prime candidate?
Is that... was she?
I'm just asking how you think you'd react.
I don't know. I wouldn't react in any way, really. I'm not bothered. I don't think she was, though.
What makes you think that?
Well, it's just an impression I got. She's a bit flaky, to be honest. She's just not really prime candidate material.
I'm not sure that you actually understand, my dear sweet Simon, what exactly the factors were for them to determine who was prime candidate. Okay. But, so did he not, was the testing to determine prime candidate? Had been asked by Ryan to test Kate, but you say you weren't aware of her candidate status? Okay, so that must be what it was. The testing was a prerequisite, so... Alright. Well, we saw Ryan enter the house back there. Maybe we really do
Okay, that's it for now.
have to go to Atlas and lock ourselves in like Jenks said to do.
Damn. I suppose it was too much to hope that Ryan had left the place open.
So, that is not something we can do. We've exhausted all of our questions, right? From our inventory? Looks like we've got replies from everyone that it let us ask. Are we needing to re-explore again? Okay, I mean, I'm willing to do that. Usually things don't change until the time advances, but... Sure. Okay, well, I guess that's... Oh my god, they really are a cult.
Prove to me that you're man enough to do this, Kyle, and then you can deal with that ridiculous police inspector.
What is this? What the hell? Scotland Yard. Not hell. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Inspector. What are you doing here?
Inspecting. So, come on. Let's have it.
Why don't you
I
help
don't
the
think
girl?
you
Grab the
understand,
knife.
Inspector. The best thing that you can do is turn around, go away, and leave us to it.
Knife.
What?
That knife gives me a perfect right to stick my nose in, investigate, and interfere.
Maybe you should interfere. He's trying to
This
stab her.
is all part of the Atlas course. It's a physical endurance exercise.
Drop the knife. The knife, Kyle!
Yeah, he knows who you are.
Kyle.
Drop it!
Drop it.
Who is the
I'm
girl?
looking 100% brilliant for you, Ryan.
Well, please, Inspector, you've poked your nose into Atlas's affairs enough times to know that imaginative flair is part of the course's success. Our lessons are reinforced by a unique emotional experience.
Terror?
It's an extremely evocative tool.
Well, it's a good job you're not in charge of the national curriculum.
Now look, Inspector, I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're thinking. But believe me, Atlas had nothing to do with the deaths of those people.
Eyewitness account of a satanic sacrifice in the woods. That's not what we call circumstantial evidence, Ryan.
Simon. Now, I saw Simon walking home with Kate last Friday after the meeting. Now, Simon had some strange idea that he was in the running to become prime candidate. Well, a knob of butter has more chance of becoming prime minister. Oh, wait.
So are you telling me that...
Simon killed her? Well, it seems reasonable. It's likely, isn't it?
Any more likely than you, Ryan?
I don't really think it seems likely at all, unless he is...
Pig!
Oh, yeah.
I know. Police brutality.
Yeah. How you like that, little punk?
It's all right. You okay?
So we're not going to find out who the girl is? Is that Lisa? No, Lisa had lighter brown hair, didn't she? What was added? Ryan's accusation. of Simon, so now we have something to question further about. Okay. I guess we press on. Alright, guys.
Ask you a couple more things, please.
Again, I really don't think that Simon is our killer here. But
Did Simon mention walking home with anyone after the meeting last Friday?
No, he just came home. Why?
He didn't mention walking home with Kate.
No, definitely not.
doesn't mean he didn't do it, but...
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Alright, Simon.
What would you say if I said it's been suggested that you were seen walking home with Kate after Atlas last Friday?
What? By who?
The same person who suggested that you wanted Kate out of the picture because you found out she was in the running to be prime candidate.
What? Who said that?
Just a question.
I didn't think I was in the running. It was Ryan, wasn't it?
I am in no position to say.
It was Ryan.
Simon, calm down.
No, I can prove it. Kate's driving license, give it to me.
Why?
Kate's driving license, please. See that pattern on the tape there?
Yes, I've noticed that.
Let me show you something. See this pattern? Now look at that.
Same tape?
It's the same pattern. This has come from the same roll of tape as this.
So?
So there's only one person that's taped like that. Ryan. He gave me this piece of tape when I was in his office once. Why has Kate's driving license got a piece of Ryan's tape on it?
I have no idea, Simon.
Where did you find it?
Oh, by the lake.
It's obvious, isn't it? Ryan was testing her. He was doing a boundary test to see how much she would do, how far she would go to be a prime candidate. But it all went wrong. Okay. It's one of the things we do at the course, right? You give something that's important to you to someone else, then they go and hide it somewhere. It's to teach you to not be bothered when you lose something that's important to you, all right? Kate gives her driving license to Ryan. Ryan goes and hides it somewhere down the lake. Kate finds out, she goes down looking for it, probably drunk, and she falls in.
I'm afraid I find that a bit far-fetched, Simon.
It makes perfect sense if you know anything at all about how Atlas
But
works.
Simon, if you got the tape from Ryan, Kate could have got it from him.
He told me he doesn't lend it out.
He lent it to you.
But I didn't kill her! Do a lab test on the card. His DNA will be all over it.
And what if yours is all over it?
It won't be. I didn't kill her. I'm sorry. Just give me a minute. I need some painkillers.
What kind of painkillers are you able to take? Are you leaving? Are you running away? Jenks? Jenks? I think he might be making a break for it. He shouldn't be able to take painkillers. Damn it! Where did he go? Did he do it after all?
Where did he go in such a hurry? Is he trying to act as suspiciously as possible?
Yeah. I mean, we noticed that from the very start. The thing is, Ryan isn't the only one who has this. His wife does too, because she taped up the broken window with that. Which way did he go? We are trying to find him, right? Darn it, where is he? Is he going to be in the clearing? Atlas is still locked, right? It is? Where the... I mean, there's nothing we could have done to have stopped that. Did he come back here? Of course, he said he didn't know about the taped up window, so... I mean, he's not going to be in here, but we have to look, right? Can't go in and talk to Paul anymore. Nothing back here. Are you hiding with James?
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Doggone it. Is there a time limit on this? I guess since we're here, we ask him questions.
Do you know how well Simon knew Kate?
Not really.
Did you ever see them together?
So why? Do you think he killed her?
I've no idea. Do you think he'd be capable of that?
Do you think we're all capable of it?
No, I don't.
Sure. So you've never been in your police car responding to an incident, driven past a school at high speed?
It's not the same thing.
No. Maybe.
Well, you've answered your own question then. When you've got a need and things get in your way, it's human nature to either ignore them or get rid of them. Any way you can. That's all murder is, isn't it?
Maybe you're right.
You scare me a little bit, James.
Ever seen tape like this anywhere before?
No.
All right, goodbye.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Could he be hiding up in the greenhouses? He is not. Let's see, there's only one more place to go. Here. Not here. Could he be trying to confront Ryan? I mean, that is if he actually didn't kill her. His running away seems super suspicious. Let's go ask Emma about the tape. It's not got Simon's running
about a few
away
more
in
things,
here,
please.
though, so we can't ask her about that, unfortunately.
Have you seen this anywhere before?
I've seen it somewhere, but can't remember. Sorry, no.
Well, there's
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
only two things left that I think we can do, and that's go talk to Rebecca and or call the chief. Let's call the chief. Though I guess we should exhaust everything before we call him. Alright, let's do this. There's a couple things we can ask her about.
Couple more questions, if that's okay.
Alright, just the sticky tape then.
Have you seen patterned tape like this anywhere before?
Oh, Ryan's got some. I know because I borrowed it.
When was that?
A couple of months ago?
Have you still got it?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it since then.
That's not true. She used that tape to tape up the broken window. It's way back. Which one was it? Broken pub window. This is the same tape.
Aha.
You last saw that sticky tape 2 months ago. Is that correct?
Yes.
So how come you used it last week to tape over the broken window outside? That's the same tape.
Well, I must have been mistaken.
You see, the reason I'm asking is that it's exactly the same tape that was found attached to Kate's driving license, found at the scene. The tape that only Ryan has. Ryan, and of course, you.
Is Rebecca the
So
killer?
what's he saying?
Who's got the tape now? Do you know where it is?
No, No, I don't know where it is. Why are you asking me about this tape?
You seem nervous, Rebecca. Is there a problem?
Why did she kill Kate?
Well, you're practically accusing me of having something to do with that woman's murder, aren't you?
I wasn't accusing you of anything, Rebecca. Unless there's something you'd like to tell me.
No, I wouldn't like to tell you anything.
Did she find out about the blackmail?
Obviously, we'll be swabbing everyone in the area for DNA, so if anything comes up on Kate's license, DNA traces.
What'll come up? Nothing will come up. Right, I've had enough. I've got to get
Oh
back.
my God.
Rebecca!
She killed Kate. The question is
Would you
why?
like to explain to me exactly what is going on?
Which bit? The fact that some leggy bitch was trying to steal my husband?
I think you had better tell me what you know.
Oh
Rebecca.
my God, she thought it was Kate.
Okay. You want to know what I know? Kate Vine
She
seduced my husband
It
and was
wasn't-
going to blackmail him.
It wasn't Kate.
Not only did she sleep with him, that whore did it just for his money, our money.
How did you work that out?
I heard her. I knew it was her arguing with Emma Bowman. Emma was trying to talk her out of it.
And how did she come to be at the lake?
She dropped that driving license thing when she came in. She was drunk. She dropped her bag. I took it out to the woods and stuck it over the lake. Then I waited for her. When she came out, I told her where it was, that someone had just run off into the woods with it.
You led her to the lake.
She was reaching out over the lake to get it. I didn't do anything. She just fell in.
But you let her drown.
It was dark. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't help her.
Really? Did you try, Rebecca?
Well, it was too late. She was just flapping about in the water. It was pathetic. She was making these gurgling sounds.
And what did you do?
I got a big stick. I just pushed her down with it until she stopped. Well, she was dead anyway. What did it matter?
You killed her, Rebecca.
But she slept with my husband.
She didn't, Rebecca.
What do you mean?
You got the wrong girl.
Oh my God.
Who? Emma. It was Emma.
Rebecca Rand, I am arresting you for the murder of Kate Vine. You do not have to say anything, but anything you do say may be taken down and will be used in evidence against you. Do you understand?
Yes.
So, it appears that Kate Vine's death was a tragic case of mistaken identity. But there are some loose threads here. What was Ryan doing with Kyle and that girl in the woods? What if I hadn't interrupted? And what really happened to Liam last year? It seems I've only scratched the surface of Atlas and the Rand business empire. Trying to find out about Paul Rand's past is like peering into dense fog. He gives nothing away and covers his tracks with military efficiency. However, what is known is that Paul Rand has a lot of connections in high places, politicians, celebrities, business leaders. Perhaps James Wilson's ideas weren't too wide of the mark after all. I get the feeling there's still a lot more to learn about the Rand business empire.
You're gonna have to excuse us. Atlas is closed for the moment, but we'll be open again very soon. Thank you for your interest.
Ooh. I did not see that coming at all. Despite the fact that we noticed the tape from the very first when it was on the driver's license, and then immediately when we saw it on the broken window, I never figured Rebecca for the killer. Wow. I tell you what, I love this game. And I know that Dr. Decker was a spiritual successor to this, and I enjoyed Dr. Decker. I really like this game. I hope that there is a sequel. They certainly set it up for a sequel. I don't think there's one out yet. but this was a Kickstarter project. Maybe they could kickstart it again. The acting in this game was incredibly good. Just top notch. The only criticism that I could have, well, two criticisms. One, the default keyboard interface is horrible. I think that's probably a relic of it maybe being designed for tablets or touch devices. The mouse interface is fine. It's perfectly adequate. And the second is the audio isn't great in some places. The video is superb. High quality. Oh, what if we... little after the credits thing there. Anyway, the video is superb quality. The audio lacked a little bit in places, but the acting carried this so much. All of them were really good actors, especially since, they are trying to raise funds for a sequel. Okay. I will check into that and see if they're actually actively raising funds. That would be something that I would be super interested in contributing to. Anyway, sorry I keep getting distracted. Especially Paul. I mean, I didn't like his character, but the actor that played Paul was very good. None of them were bad actors. And that just adds so much to the experience. The writing was good. The story was good. If our minds had been in the correct place, maybe I would have recognized, because the links were there, that Rebecca could have been the killer of Kate. I mean, we knew that Emma and Kate had argued that Emma was the one who had the affair, that the tape was on the broken window and on the driver's license. We knew that Rebecca had access to the tape. So yeah, I mean, it all makes perfect sense. Wow. I know I'm gushing, but this is a really good game. I've had an awesome time playing this. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out and going on this ride with me. I certainly appreciate you coming along on the journey, and I hope that you will join me in the future when we go on yet more adventures. Thank you so much for watching. If you've liked these videos, leave a like below. It really does help tremendously. Your support means the world to me. If you'd like to see more in the future, subscribe. And until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.